Good morning. Hope you're having a great weekend. It is Saturday, August 30th, 9:16 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, local time here in Portland, Oregon. I am leaving the Google warehouse. My load was canceled. So I got here at 7 a.m. I drove up from Eugene, Oregon. It's about 125 miles away. And got here at 7 a.m. for a 9 a.m. appointment. And they had me pull into a dock. I slid my tandems, opened the doors. I was in the dock, and then 15 minutes before 9, they walk over to my door and they said, "Yeah, we think your load's canceled. You should call your dispatcher." All the Google people treat you like you're a company driver. So I called JQL. I couldn't reach anybody. I emailed JQL, no response. I called another JQL number and I reached someone, but they said that they weren't with that department. They couldn't do anything. And they tried transferring me back to the number that wouldn't answer the phone multiple times. I kept calling back in and they just transfer me back to the same number that's not answering the phone. So after many, many phone calls, she finally found someone that was in another department that could help me out. Someone in the JQL dedicated department. And they said, "Yeah, we don't have a Google contact on the weekend to check to verify the load's canceled. We just have to go by whatever the warehouse says." And they said, "All I can do is offer you another load, but I don't have much." He said, "Let me check and see what I got." And he said, "The only load that I have anywhere close to Portland is a load in the Dalles." Somebody here was pronouncing it, another Landstar driver was pronouncing it Dulles. I don't know how to pronounce it. And he said it was going to Mississippi, and I was like, "Well, how much is it paying?" And he was like, "Well, it's $3,900 plus 900 fuel surcharge, so $4,800. I was like, "What's that rate per mile? What is that, like $230 a mile?" And he came back and he was like, "Give me a second." He mathed it out and he was like, "Yeah, it's $232 a mile." And I was like, "My God, man, that is cheap. Can you not do any better on that? Like, the load I'm hauling right now is already cheap. Like, I almost didn't haul this load. It was $246 a mile because of how cheap it was." And he agreed with me. These loads are really cheap, but he said that, he couldn't do anything on it. And I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm not going to, take that load to Mississippi." Like, that's just I was already, worried about this load, and, that load's just even cheaper. So he said, just everybody's gone for the holiday weekend. So he told me to just wait until Tuesday and message David, the person that's in charge of this load, and have him give me a truck ordered, not used. Now, when I first started with Landstar, truck ordered, not used was $650. But I heard in the newest contract, they reduced it to $250, which is an absolute joke. Like, that really pisses me off if I'm only going to get paid $250 for wasting a day of my life and all the fuel and everything to drive up here. And I'm also stuck for the week through the holiday weekend. Like, I could have booked a load on Friday, but I thought I had this load. So now I'm on a holiday weekend. Just a second here. That right lane's ending and there's a car in it. All right, they're turning right there. I'm just watching that right lane to see if anybody's passing me in it. It's a really, really steep hill. All right, there's a car that tried to pass me in it, but they realized at the last second it was an ending lane. But yeah, so basically, the load is canceled. I went back in after talking with Landstar and everything. They were like, we can't verify anything on the weekend because we don't have a Google contact for the weekend. We've been trying to get one. And so I checked back in with the warehouse, and a supervisor walked up to me and said, yeah, I verified it is canceled. And it was canceled because we don't have the product. So whatever it was I was supposed to pick up, they don't have. And they canceled the load at the last minute because they don't have the product they were supposed to load into the trailer. So now I've got to go find a place to park. I tried, the other load. If you watch my previous video, the other load that I was thinking about booking was a multi-stop load going to Williston, North Dakota. It was doing a whole bunch of deliveries in South Dakota and North Dakota, and its final stop after 18, 19 stops was in Williston, North Dakota. That is the load I was thinking about booking whenever I booked the Google load. That load doesn't pick up until Wednesday of next week. Oh my God, that was a quick light. I'm gonna have to set through the light cycle then. So I tried calling the agent. That load's still on the load board. I tried calling the agent and booking that load, and the agent is not answering their phone. I mean, it's a holiday weekend, so everybody's basically gone for the weekend. So I'm going to have to set until Tuesday to book a load. This really sucks. That's like the main reason that I booked this load was because it was giving me something to do through the holiday weekend so I wouldn't have to set through the weekend. But now I'm going to be setting through the weekend. For those that don't know, brokers generally work bankers hours, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and they take holidays off. So I've got my load alert set up. I have tried to book a load, but nobody's answering their phones. Even like I had issues reaching Google, JQL, that has the Google account, the load that I had. I had a lot of issues reaching somebody there to try to figure out what was going on with this load. Because it's a weekend, and it's a holiday weekend. All right, just a second here. So what am I doing? Well, one of my favorite truck stops used to be the TA in Troutdale. But they made basically the entire parking lot reserved parking. And what few spots they have left that are not reserved parking are perma-camped by locals. Like last time I was there, the shop manager, which is apparently the person that controls the parking, was just going off on a rant. I was in the shop for a couple hours, and he was ranting and raving about locals camping out in his parking lot, and that's the reason he's made everything paid. And he's still got some locals that he needs to run out of the parking lot, and he's getting in touch with a tow company because he's got trucks that have been sitting for like 2 years and haven't moved and are broke down in his parking lot and stuff like that. So although it used to be one of my favorite truck stops, it's not anymore because it's basically all paid parking. But since I'm so close to it, I'm going to drive through the parking lot and see if there is a free spot that I can park at. There's also a Love's right next door. And I'm going to check out that Love's as well. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. There's an RV burnt to the ground in the they have bobtail park. They have a huge bobtail parking lot, and there was an RV burnt to the ground, like nothing but the frame left and a little bit of the front end. What in the hell is going? The configuration of the parking lot has changed. All right, they have a whole bunch of. Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna go to Love's. They have. They've got the entire parking lot as paid parking. You have to get a ticket to go in, and you have to pay to get out. And they don't have any signs up about the parking. They have reserved signs on every single one of these spots out here as well. So he did it. He made the entire. He said he was going to do it. They only had like 10 parking spots that weren't paid, and they got the rest of them paid. If there's no parking here, then I'm going to drive to the TA in Aurora, which is, I don't know, like a 40-mile drive. Just a second here. There's somebody just parked in the damn roadway. I can't stand people that just park in the middle of the damn road. All right, there's a spot right there at the end of the row. I hate parking at the end of the row. There's another spot not quite at the end of the row. So there are spots here. These are really tight. Are you seriously just going to roll on, bro? Do I want to park at the end of the row there? We got some spots at the very back of the parking. There's lots of spots. All right, I have a decision to make. I'm going to have to, if I want to park in any of these spots, I have to flip it around. So, decisions. We got a decent little walk over to the TA. I don't have any shower credits here. All right, I'm going to park in the road like this bobtail's doing. Oh, they're airing up their tires. Why didn't they park on the cement, like alongside the building? I don't want to park here. It's really tight parking, and the type of drivers that hang out at Love's are generally like not good drivers. So I don't want to get hit. Where the hell is the TA at? Just a minute, I'm trying to find the damn TA. In Aurora. Well, no wonder I can't find it. I'm looking at Interstate 99, or I'm looking at Highway 99. North. 38 miles. Oh my goodness, this really ticks me off. All right, here we go. We're rolling. The main reason, well, there's a few reasons that I like this area. One of the reasons is there's, restaurants. Like there's a McDonald's at the TA. And if you use the McDonald's app, oh my God, this road is so busy. And I've got to cut across all 3 lanes of traffic to get over in the left turn lanes. So, like, everything has to be clear for me to go across. So I have to sit here. It looks like we got an opening after these 2 cars. Stay green. Yeah, this is a very convenient area over here, and you have access to food that's not truck stop food, which is not a real big deal. I have plenty of food in the truck. But it is nice to have that option if you get burnt out on the food in the truck. Oh my goodness, this is so annoying. And I'm going to be so mad if the truck ordered not used is only $250. I haven't gotten a truck ordered not used since I heard that they reduced the cost. The only one I've ever gotten was a long time ago, and it was $650. And I'm just sitting here thinking about $250 is all they're going to pay me for a truck order not used. Like, that really, really, really pisses me off. Oh my goodness. That makes me so mad. All right. Are you going to stay green? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right. We're past the point of no return. All right. Watching the four-wheelers, see if they're going to fight me to let me over. But they slowed down and let me over. All right, Google is trying to route me through the middle of town. It's going to try to take me from 84 straight to I-5, but that's not what I want to do. I want to take the 205 around Portland. I don't want to go right through the damn middle of Portland. I don't know why Google does that. The only thing Google takes into consideration when route planning you is time. That's it. If it's 1 second faster to have you drive right through the middle of town, then that's what it's going to have you do. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on signs and be sure to get onto the 205 when I see it. All right, looks like we got a sign up here. Tunnel time. Or no, travel time. Travel time to the 205 is 6 minutes and I-5 is 13 minutes. So we're about 6 miles away from the 205, which Google is telling me in 6 miles I need to keep to the right to stay on 84. So that must be the 205 interchange. Now I just need to find a sign that tells me if I need to be over in the left lane or in the right lane for the exit. I wish interstates did a better job on signs to let you know, hey, it's going to be a left lane exit. They generally don't let you know until you're within like a mile. And it can be very difficult to switch lanes or to get across multiple lanes of traffic. Like if it's a left lane exit and they only give you like 1 mile notice, it's difficult to jump across 2 lanes in a semi truck in 1 mile. And I think it's a left lane exit for the 205. I think it is, but I'm not sure. I should probably grab the center lane. We're 5 miles away. I'm just hoping there's a sign before we get there. Why? Another reason that I'm driving 40 miles to another truck stop, why would I be doing this? Another reason is because Staten, Oregon is south of Portland in the direction that I'm heading, and that's the load that I'm trying to book. So I'm heading in the direction of the load that I'm trying to book. This is so frustrating. I was really excited about rolling through the weekend, and I had everything planned out. Oh my goodness. Traffic just keeps getting thicker and thicker. If I need to get over that left lane, it's going to be a pain. That's one of the things that's nice about Google, is it usually will tell you if it's a left or right exit. Entering Portland. 2.5 miles and still no sign telling us where the exits are at. .205 is a left lane exit. All right. So it's going to be a left lane exit, and it's probably going to be one lane is going to be north. No, I don't know. Does 205, I think 205 ends whenever it intersects with 84. So I don't think there's going to be a north-south option. Let's see what this sign says. I can't see it because I'm behind Werner here. This is the reason people don't like driving behind trucks. They can't see anything. All right, so I should be good to go to exit in this lane. The middle lane can go either direction, according to the sign. It's going to take Google a second to figure out that I didn't go the route they wanted me to go. There is a 205 north. All right, 50 mile per hour turn. We're doing 55 right now. We're slowing down. We're at 47, 45. Right lane ends, and there are four-wheelers all along me in the left lane. All right, that pickup slowed down and is letting me over. Nice people this weekend. Now this lane's going exit only, so I'm going to want to get over one more lane. Which doesn't seem to be an issue because this is a very popular exit. So on the truck ordered not used, the guy told me to contact David on Tuesday when he's back from his vacation. But I think I might just go ahead and submit the truck ordered not used. Because what you do on a truck ordered not used is you fill out a a bill of lading. We have Landstar gives us like blank bill of lading forms in case we have to hand write a bill of lading. So you just put basically the freight bill number on the bill of lading and put truck ordered not used on it. That's about all you do. That's all I did on the last one I did, was the freight bill number and TONU across it. And then you submit it like a normal load for payment. All right, just a minute. Traffic is getting congested. Now here's the question. Whenever I get down here, should I park at the Flying J or the TA? The Flying J has the, what in the hell is this car doing? And these four-wheelers don't pay much attention at all to what they're doing. But they are stacked up in that right lane. There's some really popular exit coming up, and I'm getting out of this lane because it's slowing down and it's probably going to come to a stop. There is the exit that they were all stacked up for. There's another really popular exit toward the end of the 205. I want to say it is the 99, the exit for the 99. And traffic will usually come to a complete stop at that exit. So I'm going to stay over here in this lane. And as we get closer to the 99, I might actually go out into the far left lane because people will stack up in the two right lanes. You know, you got those special little snowflakes, those people who think that they're unique. They're the only person in the world that matters. And they will stay out in the left lanes till the last second and then cut across traffic and cut people off for the exit. So those people will sit out here and block this middle lane. They'll just stop in the middle of the road until somebody lets them in at the front of the line after they've gone around everybody. We still got 16 miles left until we hit I-5, so we shouldn't be too close to the 99 yet. I want to say the 99 is within like 5 miles of I-5. All right, we got a sign up here that says how long it is. I think it's saying 7 minutes until the 99. Yeah, 7 minutes until, so 7 miles until the 99 and 15 minutes or 15 miles until I-5. So it's about 8 miles away from the I-5 exit. So all of the food at those little taco truck things next to the Flying J are way overpriced, except the taco place. Like all the Indian food and the various other places that they have there, the prices are crazy. And the price at the taco place is crazy as well. Like almost all of their food is $15+. You know, most of their little meals are around $20 or more, which is crazy for a roach coach. Just a second here. This SUV in front of me is having a hell of a conversation with the passenger, and they're just putting along really slow. They're doing 54 miles an hour. Oh, there they go. Getting out of my way. And it's flagged like it's a commercial vehicle. Columbia Helicopters, Portland, Oregon. It had a sign on the back of it, "How's my driving? Call this number." But I think they increased the price of the taco special. The taco special was the only thing that was reasonably priced, and it was still expensive. It should have been like $5 to $7. It's two tiny little tacos and like a spoonful of beans and a spoonful of rice. I mean, you're talking about some of the cheapest food you can possibly get. Beans, rice, and a tortilla shell. Like, and like that should be $5 for the amount of food you get and the type of food that you're getting. But the price was $10, and they increased it to like $12, I think. Like I got it last time I was parked there, and then like a couple of days later when I got it again, the price was increased to like $12. But I think what it was the person at the register just like, I put in no tip because I don't tip. Like I cannot stand tipping. I used to be a big tipper. Like I used to, like, about the only thing that I ever did, like I didn't do sit down restaurants or anything like that where you tipped at. The only place that I ever ordered food where tipping was like socially acceptable was pizza delivery. And I always gave like a minimum $5 tip. You know, I'd order like $20 worth of food and, you know, pay $25 to $30 for it. And then whenever all these food delivery places came into business, I tipped whenever they first came into business because their prices were reasonable. You know, it was like 99-cent delivery. And, you know, I would throw $3 or $4 on top of the delivery. You know, I was always tipping like $3 or $4. I would order $10 worth of food and end up paying like $15 to $20 for it, with a delivery tip and everything. And then they got greedy. And they started charging $5 for the delivery, plus like a $1.50 delivery fee, plus like a 10% or 15% handling charge, plus 30% markup on the cost of the food. So you're ordering $10 worth of food, and they're charging you $20 for that food. They're basically charging you double for the food or more to have it delivered. So you're paying like $20 to $25 to have $10 worth of food delivered to you. I'm not going to tip on top of that. That's just insane. And that just got me to where I just stopped tipping everywhere. I do not tip at all, ever, no matter what. And I think the jacked up price at that taco truck was them like forcing a tip onto me, even though I opted out of the tip. And that really ticked me off. Because I went back a couple of days later and it was $10 again. And $10 is, I really don't like paying $10 for like a spoonful of beans and a spoonful of rice and 2 tiny little tacos. Like that's just way overpriced. But whenever I really get tired of food in the truck, that's okay. But anyway, that's the option if I park at the Flying J, is I'll be next to the Roach coaches. If I park at the TA, I have a shower credit there. I have a shower credit at both because I put in 60 gallons of, oh, come on. This car in front of me is just going really slow. Because I put in fuel this morning at Pilot Flying J, the one that I'm headed toward right now. I just realized I didn't have my headlights on. I always drive with my headlights on. All right, traffic's really bad up ahead. Google is warning me that there's a delay. My arrival time is in red. I'm not looking forward to hauling that load. That 20 stop load to Williston. Or yeah, just come over real close. What in the hell? She just cut me off and slammed on her brakes. It says student driver. There's a sticker on the back that says student driver, but it's not like a real student driver sticker. It's one of those joke ones. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm just concentrating on this moron. Anytime, I'm really surprised she didn't take that exit. Like the way she forced herself over in front of me. Now she's slowing down. Like this, the way this person's driving is like they're trying to get an insurance claim. I'm trying to stay away from her. We're doing 50 miles an hour right now. Now she's speeding up. Yeah, the way she cut me off and slammed on her brakes is like she was trying to get an insurance claim. All right, we're getting close to I-5. Now she's getting back over in the left lane. She just cut somebody else off. And that person got pissed off and jumped over in the right lane because she cut them off. She didn't slam on her brakes in front of them. Sorry, I'm just hanging back watching her. I don't want to be alongside her. I don't want to be anywhere near her because like she's really, really dangerous. And she's going slow, and she's got people like a couple of inches off her bumper. I'm just afraid she's going to brake check somebody again. Cars are getting frustrated and passing her on the right. So, yeah, it looks like we're setting through the weekend. I've switched my load alerts. I had already changed my load alerts to look for loads coming out of Atlanta. And before I left Google, I changed my load alerts over to Portland. The supervisor at Google, Chris, he was trying to like basically tell me, all right, we have a temporary lane and people are hopping out in that new right-hand lane to pass everybody. So the right lane is going to I-5 North. Left lane's going to south. We're wanting to go south. The middle lane looks like it goes either way. And my lane is probably going to be a temporary lane once we get onto the exit. Let's see how many of these people actually go I-5 South, or are they just using it to pass everybody? Or I-5 North, I'm sorry. Just a second here. Just watching to see what everybody's going to do. It looks like the vast majority of them actually did end up going I-5 North. They weren't using the lane just to pass. But But he was trying to like make me feel better about, oh man, I-5 is crawling. I can see the traffic on the interstate right there, and I-5 southbound is just crawling. So let's go ahead and move over a lane. And prepare to merge into stopped traffic. I think this lane is good to go for like a mile or so, and then it goes exit only. Oh, here, it's great. That really slow helicopter person just passed me in that ending lane, so I'm behind the slow helicopter people again. All these people passing in that ending lane, it's ticking me off. All right, and this bus is wanting to get over my lane for the exit. And I've got a mile to get over out of this lane because it's going exit only. Looks like the four-wheeler is going to let me over. Nice people today. This should clear up in like a few miles. But I've only got like 10 miles until my exit. So I think this clears up as we're driving through Wilsonville. It's next two exits are Wilsonville. People are seeing how fast that exit lane is moving. I wonder how many of these people are actually taking the exit, or how many snowflakes we have that are just trying to cut in front of everybody. But yeah, he was the Google supervisor was saying stuff like he was talking to me like I was a company driver or something. They're like, yeah, they'll probably just get you another load. That's usually what they do is whenever these cancel, they'll just get you another load out of here. You might have to drive a little ways to get it. I was like, yeah, there's no loads picking up anywhere around here. It's a holiday weekend, so I'm going to be stuck through the weekend. He was like, oh yeah, well, at least you didn't have to drive far. Where'd you have to drive from? And I said Eugene. He was like, oh, and he said like one or two other things to try to make it sound like it wasn't as bad as it was. And every one of them, I responded with, something where, yeah, it sucks. And he just gave up. And he's like, all right, well, have a good one. Walked off. Oh my goodness. Why is traffic so bad on a Saturday morning leaving Portland? Is there an accident? Is there construction? Like, what has got traffic so bad? All right, I see a car on the left shoulder up ahead. Looks like they have their door open. But that could have been somebody that just had a breakdown in this traffic and they couldn't get over to the right shoulder. Great. Look at these special little snowflakes just hopping out into the, like, driving across the median, going into the on-ramp to pass people. Like, can you believe, like, how special these people are? Like, we're just in their way. The rules don't apply to them. They're unique. Oh, now they're stuck on the on-ramp. People are not letting them merge in. I bet they're about to blow a gasket. I'm a snowflake. Let me in. All right, let me take a look here. Yeah, this clears up basically at the next major Wilsonville exit, according to Google. So it looks like this traffic jam is mainly just caused by people going from one end of Wilsonville to the other. And there was a movement. This is a while back. I want to say this is like 5 to 10 years ago. There was a movement in the Denver area where they were trying to ban trucks from driving on the interstate during the daytime, because they thought trucks were the cause of all traffic, and trucks are evil, and trucks are bad. That's the leftist mentality. So they had like entire articles on this. There's all kinds of stuff spreading this idiocy. And then people started writing articles presenting facts. And I remember one of the articles trying to inform these morons what causes traffic jams. And they said they put a lot of data in the article, and one of the data points was like, it was something ridiculous, like over 95% of interstate traffic is on the interstate for less than 5 miles. So almost all interstate traffic are people that are just like going one or two exits. They're just driving around in town, but instead of using city streets, they're hopping on the interstate because city streets suck. Most cities do not have very good infrastructure. If your city infrastructure is so bad that to drive 2 miles, people are driving onto the interstate, then like you need to fix your city infrastructure. All right, things are picking up. All right, we're moving at the speed limit now. Got 6.5 miles to go. And I don't remember if I mentioned it, but let me mention this in case I forgot, or I've got somebody who doesn't understand pricing on Landstar. When I was talking about that load that they offered me to Mississippi, I don't think that I made it clear that like that's the full rate that the customer pays. I only get about 70% of that. So that $2.32 a mile, that would be like less than $1.50 a mile that I would be making. Are these weekend warriors like going somewhere for the holiday weekend? Why is there so much traffic this morning? We got 3.5 miles until our exit. I think I'm going to go over the TA because my TA shower credit expires Tuesday. So I need to use it by Monday, by the end of the day, Monday. So I'm going to be taking a shower at the TA. So I might as well park there so I don't have to relocate truck stops. Oh, great. Another special. Is there another one? Is this another one going to cut me off? Just a second here. I think they tried and they mistimed it and they just had to go into the rest area. They were flying up on me really fast. I just can't believe how aggressive people are. They will risk their lives to save 10 seconds. I just don't understand that rationale. And it's not just their lives that they're risking, it's everyone around them. And people die all day, every day in traffic accidents where they're being aggressive and just trying to save a couple of seconds. 2 miles until the exit. All right, so what am I going to do this weekend? This just like completely changed all my plans. But anyway, yeah, let me wrap up. I get approximately 70%. All the pay that I'm told, like every time I'm talking numbers with brokers or on the load board or anything like that, all of those numbers are full rate. That's what the customer's paying. And I get approximately 70% of that. So whenever you hear something like $2.32 a mile, that's actually a really good rate per mile to be running at as an owner operator. I would love to be running at $2.32 a mile, but for me to run at $2.32 a mile, the load would have to, sorry, I'm just watching this truck on the shoulder. The load would have to pay, oh my goodness, how much would the load have to pay for me to be making $2.32 a mile on it? I don't want to do that kind of math in my head in this heavy traffic. Let me think here. Be about $3.40 a mile, I think, somewhere in the ballpark of like $3.40 a mile. No, it's not that much, is it? No, it'd be lower. It'd be like 310, 320 a mile, somewhere around 320 a mile for me to make 330 or 232 a mile on it, I think. I don't know. You can figure it out. You can bust out a calculator. I'm driving. I think to figure it out, you need to do 2.32 divided by 0.7. All right, let's go ahead and throw on the signal. This is a nasty little off-ramp. Sometimes this thing gets backed up all the way to the interstate, and you do not want to be stopped on the interstate for the on-ramp. But they've extended this off-ramp to avoid a nasty backup. See how long this thing is now? It's a lot longer than the last time I was here. Last time I was here, it was nowhere near this long. And this thing would always back up all the way to the interstate. So they're redoing this entire off-ramp. I think they're redoing the road and everything, because this is a really sketchy little place to enter and exit for trucks. So I think they're completely redoing everything to make it a lot easier for trucks to get in and out of this area. It's a really blind. All right, we're going to go for it. There's a truck that just made a left turn off the interstate off-ramp. Through trucks prohibited on Buttville or Butteville Road. All right, we're going to make a right turn. Let's let everybody know that we're going to the right. We're going to the right to the TA. To the left is the Pilot Flying J. We have a green arrow. Now it's yellow. We're still going for it. We're doing the things. Yeah, it looks like they're remaking the road. They're making a completely new road. Appears to be what they're doing.
Turn left to stay on Benz Road Northeast, then turn right.
Why do so many homeless people have animals, like dogs? Like, they can't take care of themselves properly. There's no way that they're taking good care of that animal. Come on, bro. Get out of there. I can't make that damn turn with you cross the damn thing. Yeah, wave back at you. All right, so I'm going to see if I can't get a pull-through spot. I want to be facing north. So over here to my left, I want to see if I can't get a pull-through. Oh, yeah. We got a pull-through right there. They're kind of like they're offset, so I'm gonna have to like pull through and then. Oh no! I don't like this. I don't like this. This is a blind side back. Yeah, this is no bueno. We're not parking here. I'm not gonna park in a spot where the guy next to me is gonna have to blind side back. What to do. You know what I'm going to do? I do not want to be facing into the evening sun, but this is like the most ideal spot to not get hit. because the spots around me are basically straight backs. So we're going to park right up against that row, or the edge there. You know what? I don't even know if this is a good spot because I don't know. This spot that I'm backing into isn't the easiest, but I think the spots on either side of me should be pretty easy to get into. They're basically straight backs. So I'm parking into the most difficult spot. And yeah, I'm going to have to hug right over into the bushes. Like I'm having to get into the bushes to be in this lane. They need to cut the bushes back. Well, I can't see anything because of the bushes. I don't want to back up too far and hit a fence, though. Let me get out and just see how far back I can go. I'm gonna take this thing off of the. Come on, come off of there. There you go. I'll show you what I'm looking at. So let's get out of here. Ow! Oh my goodness, these are thorn bushes. Oh my goodness. Yeah, these are thorns. I don't want to go back much further, otherwise I can't get out of the cab without crawling through the thorn bushes. Yeah, I could go back about 10 more feet. And this spot is a straight back. You can straight back this spot. I don't know why people design these truck stop parking places as blind side backs. What it is there's some moron who's never driven a truck in their life, and they're thinking, oh, they just pull, straight into the spot like a car. They pull forward into spots. So tons and tons of truck stops have angled parking to where to back into it, it's a blind side back. And this sucks. I might trim these back a little bit. You see somebody put a their floor carpet thing out here to be able to crawl out of their truck. They broke some of the branches. I think I'm going to get my wire snips and cut some of these things back. So I don't really need to back up anymore. And if I go much further back, then I'm not going to be able to get out of the truck. So I think I'm just going to stay where I'm at. Do I want to stay there? I really want to be facing this direction. That's north. I would really like to be facing this direction. In the evening sun is going to be coming straight into my windshield. So this is the second worst direction that I could be facing. The worst direction would be south. The second worst direction would be west. The best direction would be north. And the second best direction would be into the morning sun when it's cool. So I'll be facing east. But these spots throughout here are actually a little tight. They're not too bad. But last time I was parked here, the guy next to me, his truck got really messed up with somebody trying to park next to him. You know what would actually be better than this spot would be one of these spots over here. Those are all straight backs right there. And if we have a bunch of creative parkers around here, it could actually be difficult to get parked next to me here. I don't know, if they have creative parkers over there, it could be difficult over there as well. I might, you know what I could do is I could just nose in over here into one of these spots, because there's so much room to get out. I think I could safely nose into one of these spots right here, and I could be facing the morning sun. Oh, decisions. I'm not looking forward to crawling in on that thorn bush. Why would they plant a thorn bush? All right, let's change spots. I'm not liking this spot. Ow! Yeah, I don't want to have to get out and trim weeds to be able to get in and out of my truck. So let's put that back up there. Let's figure something else out. Let's drive around for a minute. Should I nose in here? You know what I could do instead of nosing in there is I could park on the other side of that flatbed. I don't want to get this end of the row spot here, but I can park in between those two flatbeds. No. We're going to nose in. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to nose in. Nosing in is awesome if you can find a place that you can do it, because it's so much quieter when you're at the back of the trailer instead of next to the tractor, and it's usually shaded really well. This looks like a good spot to nose in. I was thinking either between those two trucks or right here, but this is probably the best spot to nose in right here. And the trucks will shade the truck really well. The trailers provide a lot of shade whenever you nose in. All right, I don't want to jack up my bumper. So let's see how close we are. That's about as close as I want to get. So we'll get out and we'll take a look. Let's talk about nosing in real quick. So yeah, I don't want to jack up my bumper. Look at all the awesome truck drivers we got. It smells, yeah, you can guess what it smells like. It smells like urine. Really bad back here. At least it doesn't smell like poop. All right, so now let's go back here and see how far I'm sticking out. right, so I'm sticking out quite a bit. But that's fine. I'm not blocking anything. And it's a straight back on both sides of me. So a few things to keep in mind whenever you're nosing in. Number one is how in the hell are you getting out? Because you're going to be blind and backing out. You're going to be backing out just into complete blindness. And number two consideration whenever you're nosing into a spot is your trailer is typically going to stick out further than if you backed in. Because you can see these trailers are overhanging the curb by quite a bit. And I can't overhang the front of my truck over that curb. So all of that overhang that they have is sticking out further for me. So be mindful of that. Make sure you're not blocking anything with your extra overhang. Like I wouldn't be able to do this if there were parking spots across from me, because people wouldn't be able to back into those spots because I'd be hanging out so much. But we're good. Should be really comfortable. So that's it for me. Now I sit at the truck stop through the weekend. It's highly unlikely that I'm going to be able to book a load. You know, I might actually move up another foot or two. I really don't want to mess up my bumper, though. These trucks don't move like cars. You don't really want to get really close to something, especially with these automatic transmissions. Even with a manual transmission, you don't want to get really close to a structure because of the way these things jerk around and the way they'll roll and stuff like that. But, oh, this is all thorns as well. So, that's it for me. We're parked at the TA here in Aurora, Colorado, Aurora, Oregon. And it looks like I'm stuck for the weekend, so I'll watch some TV, play some video games, and eat some food and all that good stuff. And just sit through the holiday weekend, and I'm going to continue trying to reach the agent to book that load going to Williston, North Dakota. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to get that load because they actually listed that load last week, and then it disappeared from the load board. The exact same load that had all the same stops on it. The likelihood that there would be two loads in back-to-back weeks with all the exact same stops, all the stores ordering stuff again a week later, that is highly unlikely. Most likely what happened was that load didn't get covered. Somebody may have booked the load and then canceled, or just nobody booked the load and they took it off the load board because they couldn't they didn't get covered by the pickup appointment. And then they relisted the load a week later or a few days later. So I think that load was listed last week, did not get covered, and then they relisted it. So that is most likely the load that I'm going to book. I left a voicemail with the agent. We'll see if they call me. But, yeah, tons of fun. I'm really bummed out that I did not get that load today. And I better get a truck ordered, not used. And I'm really hoping it's not $250. That's going to be a slap in the face if it's only $250. $650 is not even that much. $650 is not adequate for a truck ordered, not used, but it's better than nothing. At least it does cover a little bit of the fuel, and it basically covers all of the fuel, and it covers all of my costs associated. Like the $650 truck ordered, not used, it at least covers all of my costs. The $250 truck ordered, not used doesn't even cover all my costs. So that's going to tick me off if that's all I get is $250. And then if Landstar takes 35% of it, I'm going to be even more mad. I can't remember everything that I get 100% of and everything that I get 65% of. But anyway, I'm going to try to enjoy my weekend. So have a good one. And I'm probably not going to be uploading another video until Tuesday, or it's actually probably going to be later than Tuesday. Maybe I'll book a load on Tuesday and I'll do a video where I'm booking a new load. So anyway, have a good one. Happy holidays and all that good stuff. Bye.